video. I'd like to say a big thank you to all you likers, watchers and subscribers. And thank you very much for all your lovely comments on our last video. It was very heartwarming to read some of them. If you've got out to say, or you've even got a question or a suggestion for what we can do, why don't you stick it in the comment box wherever YouTube has put it this week, and I'll do my very best to get back to you. In today's video, we're going to take you on a wander around the lovely village of Glasson. It's right near Conda Green. It's in the northwest of England, and it's just a couple of miles from the city of Lancaster. So, before we show you around the village, let's have a look at where we went. Well, it's here, right where the pointy screwdriver pencil is pointing at. That's where we went. Well, suppose we best crack on then, eh? In December 2020, we decided we'd pop down to Glasson Dock and stay in the marina for a couple of weeks for the holidays. Unfortunately, lockdown came upon us and we were stranded there for 4 months. Still, there's worse places to be stranded. Doesn't it look peaceful and calm? Well, it ain't always like that. Sometimes it gets a bit choppy. And if you think that's bad, just take a look at this. After a couple of days of being banged against the side, action was needed. As you can see, it's blowing a hoolie, ruining my hair. Today, I'm going to fit them wheelbarrows. Sorry about the wind noise. Let's crack on. It had been blowing a hoolie for a good long while actually, a couple of weeks, and we were getting pinned against the side of the towpath. So we decided we had to do something about it, and we got ourselves some wheels to hold us away from the edge of the towpath, so we weren't banging on the rocks just below the boat. And these are the wheels I'm fitting, 350mm solid rubber, and we got them from Screwfix. And I duly fitted them and forgot to take a photo afterwards. That wasn't the only trouble the weather was causing. Now you may be wondering why I don't take a saw to all of this, but I haven't got the space to let this wood season, so unfortunately that'll have to be left. And we weren't immune to the weather inside the boat. There was water being driven in through the air vents into the boat there, as you can see, and dripping on the carpet. Made a right mess. It's Monday the 5th of April and we've got snow. Wonder if it sticks. We were entering our 4th month in Glasson, and we were ready to get on our way back onto the Lancaster Canal. Plenty going on in the village to keep us interested. The CRT were hard at work repairing the lock gate that goes from Glasson Basin into the actual dock at Glasson.
A little boat out for a cruise.
Glasson Basin is home to a marina with all sorts of craft on there. There's pleasure craft like this little one, sea-going boats, trawlers, you name it, it's all there. Well, nearly all boats, maybe not submarines. Once they reopened that sea lock, it got quite busy with boats going in and out. I think this one was filming some TV series out towards Fleetwood Way. That there cracking noise you can hear, that's all the ice being broken by the bow there. I'd be worrying about all that paint being worn off doing that. And there he is, lining himself up to go into the sea lock, and the other boat's going out with him, I think, as well. Wasn't all sitting around watching other people sail the boats. We did manage the odd trip once a week to get some water and get our rubbish emptied out. Got a few good shots of some of the boats that are moored over there at the marina. A few other folk got to get their little boats out. I quite like these things and I fancy having a go at that. Fancy having a crack at that paddle boarding as well. I don't think Debbie's so keen though. It's not all about boating though. Sometimes you just got to stand around and listen. Sometimes it's worth getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Listen to them birds. And if you're into nature, there's plenty to come and look at. Cormorants, swans, even an otter. The Lockkeeper's Cafe serves yummy grub and is a haven for bikers. If you're a fan of vintage motorcycles, pick a sunny morning and pop down. There's some bonny bikes on show. The Lantern or the Loon, or as it's now known as the Lantern Sundae Diner. The proprietors, Jonathan and Mel, have won awards with their food and service, and when you taste it, you'll see why. They're always busy, so get there early. The Local Shop. Jane and the gang have all the essentials you need for day-to-day living, and it's become a bit of a hub for the locals, and also on a Wednesday night the bikers all turn up for a bit of grub and a natter in the late evening. I'll leave a link in the description box below. And this is Glasson Dock. Built in 1770 something, this dock has been used for centuries now and has seen plenty of passing merchant ships. At one point it was said they could hold up to 25 merchant ships. Nowadays it's a bit quieter than it used to be, but they still have regular trips from the Isle of Man and plenty of grain and fertiliser passing through. If you're peckish and you like good food, there's also the Smokehouse, which is located on the dock. But you can't just wander through the dock to get to it, you've actually got to go up a big hill. And here's the top of that hill, Bodie's Hill as it's called locally. Well, it's probably called by everyone that. And right there, behind that blurry photograph, and just to the right of those sheep, is a little village called Sunderland Point. Quite a famous little place. Lovely lit up at night as well. There we go. A lovely, if not a bit brief, trip around Glasson village. Yeah, I'm just sorry that I couldn't include more photographs of the village. I seem to put them on the computer and they just disappear. And also due to the fact that one of my workmates tested positive for that lurgy that's going around the other day, I've not really been allowed to go out. Not until I get my test results back, which I think might be just coming in now. Another lot of photos that I seem to have misplaced are of the Dalton Arms. It's a cracking little pub just down the way from the shop. Serves real ales and pub grub and all the usual stuff that pubs do. They have plenty of events on during the year, and if you're a camper vanner, you can ring them up and ask them if they've got room for you to stay the night. I just realised while I was editing this, I could have called my mate Steve Brock. He does loads of photography around Glasson. He'd have had a ton of pictures for me. Bums. So what's in store for next week's video? DIY? Trip round another village? Bit of cruising? I don't know. Let's have a sneaky peek, eh? Nearly on the bottom here. Oh, tremendous stuff. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. And if you click that little bell icon, YouTube will mither you next time we release one. Well, that's everything on my list. I reckon we'll call it a draw for this one. Till next time.